lowest, greatest, highest, I will come to thee.
Have you ever noticed that the older you get, it seems like the time just continues to fly by faster and faster? Now, is it really going by faster? No. But there's been studies done where they would do a survey between younger people and older people and ask them to describe the passing of time. And the older people consistently viewed it as something that goes by faster and faster. Now, some claim that maybe the reason for this is because as you get older, that you don't have as many events that happen in your life, and so everything kind of blends together. Also, another idea is that since we have been alive so long, we begin to compare a year that we're going through now compared to all the years that we've lived before. And in comparison, that year seems like a small amount of time. But as I think about this idea of time, one time I came up with this idea, and I would love to be able to see something like this in a cartoon. And I imagine, being a baby that's crawling up a hill, and then it gets older, and as it reaches about the age of 40, they're at the top of the hill. And then they begin to go down the hill, but this time they're sliding, and they're going faster and faster and faster until they get very old, and then they slide right into a grave. Now, that's kind of a morbid thought, but that seems to be the way things kind of go, at least from our perception of things. As we get older, time goes by faster. As I think about time, I think about what was written in Ecclesiastes chapter number 3, which says, "To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to keep silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace." There are many things that we're going to do throughout our lifetimes. There are things that we're going to be doing that are good and fun, and there are going to be things that we might do that are bad or that might bring us to tears. It's just called life. But the thing is that we have control, at least to a degree, of how we spend our time. And so that's what I want you to think about. How are you spending your time? Because time is something that you can never get back. You can make a bad investment and lose thousands of dollars, but you could work and you can gain that money back. But when it comes to time, once it's gone, it's gone. So how are you going to use your time? Well, I would encourage you, if you're a Christian, that you would use your time wisely and use it to glorify your Father in heaven. We don't know how long we have on this earth. We could die today, maybe 50 years from now, maybe 100 years from now. Who knows? But one thing that we can do is we can make the best use of our time. And so that's what I want to encourage you to do in this lesson. Really look at your life, see what you're wasting time on, and change things up so that you always make sure that God is your number one priority in your life.